It is a Champions League week. Teams will be going fiercely against each other in a two-leg tie to secure their spot in the quarter finals. Welcome to the Score Review Monday show. My name is Kindo. Very quickly, of course, there are four games we played on Tuesday, then four more slated for Wednesday. Let's begin with Galatasaray versus Liverpool. Now, these two sides have met in the current campaign. Yeah, in the playoff where Galatasaray won in Istanbul, 1-0. Galatasaray currently atop of the Turkish league, more looking like they are already runaway winners, while Liverpool are perhaps struggling to make it into the top five for a Champions League spot. Come next season, these two teams look very, very tight playing against each other. While I think Liverpool, Galatasaray may be on advantage because we look at that, the Liverpool defense, the like of Virgil van Dijk and Konate, that chemistry kind of been a bit shaky in recent games. And the home crowd, of course, is going to play a very vital role in that game. Playing in Istanbul, it's a big deal, of course. So it's a fixture that I just think both teams might likely or would definitely win at their home ground. It now depends on how many goals a team scores, they get to proceed into the quarter final. So for the first tie in Istanbul, I will give it to Galatasaray 2-1. Though Liverpool now have an advantage of Florian Wirtz, who's back into the team, but I still do not think they have the mojo to go all the way in Istanbul and get a win away at Galatasaray against Galatasaray. Of course, Galatasaray did it in the first meeting this season, so definitely it should give them that sort of motivation that if we did it before, we can do it again. So I'll give it 2-1 advantage Galatasaray. Now let's talk about Atalanta versus Bayern Munich. Atalanta, these two have not met in the Champions League before, while Atalanta fell up after their incredible comeback against Borussia Dortmund to qualify for this round of 16. They've gone on to lose three games back to back to back. Now going against a very fierce and dynamic Bayern Munich side with the likes of Michael Olise, who have a double figure in assists this season already. Hurricane firing from all cylinders. They've got like about 30 league goals already this season. Combined altogether, the team have scored over 92 league goals alone. So you see, it's a very, very dangerous team. That their football is very fierce. They play very fast football. Musiala is also back into that team. So see, the Bayern Munich side looking very, very dangerous. But Atlanta, when you least expect them to perform, that's when they show up and show you the stuff they're made of. So, regardless, I still think going against a Bayern Munich side that's very, very fierce, very dynamic, very strong in attack, and of course in the defense. Definitely, I will give it to Bayern Munich 3-1. Moving on from the Bayern Munich game, let's talk about Atletico de Madrid versus Tottenham Hotspur. These two sides have not met in the Champions League before. Yeah, that's on record of touch. Though Atletico de Madrid are taught in La Liga, they are currently in the Copa del Rey final. Yeah, in the last five games, they've won four, drawn one, while Tottenham Hotspur look very, very terrible. They have zero win, no draw at all in their last five games. That's the worst record for any team currently in the Champions League round of 16. They look very, very terrible in that recent game. Even with the change, with the appointment of to do still things are still not adding up for a Tottenham Hotspur side that are currently fighting for their life. They might be relegated at the end of the season. It depends on how the other teams who are currently in the relegation zone perform. But Tottenham does not look like that team this season. They are very, very terrible, struggling so bad, going against the Simeone side at the Metropolitano Stadium in Madrid. Madrid, of course, a very difficult city to go there and get a win. So I'll definitely give it to Simeone boys, 3-1. I'll also say Ademola Lookman is going to get a goal in that game. Now let's talk about Newcastle United versus Barcelona. I just think it might be a repetition of what happened. They've already met this season. Yeah, they met in the playoff, which Barcelona won 2-1 at St. James Park. I just think that it's going to be the same thing. I would have given it a Barca clean sheet because if you look at Newcastle recent game, I thought they kind of picked some form. They got a mojo, but in recent game they've dropped again. So they have just 2 wins in their last 5 games, while Barca just a draw in their last 5 games. I mean, 4 wins and a draw in their last 5 games. They're currently top of La Liga. I would have just say Barca are going to get a clean sheet at St. James Park, but without their Highland stuff that they play, I think Newcastle may stand a chance to get a goal against Barcelona. So I'm seeing a repetition of what happened in their first meeting this season. I'll give you 2-1 advantage Barcelona. Now let's move on and talk about Bayern Leverkusen versus Arsenal. Bayern Leverkusen and Arsenal have met. They've met 2 times. I mean, yeah, in their recent 2 meetings in the Champions League, Arsenal have won both times 4-1. That's demolition, if you ask me. 4-1 in both times in the last 2 times they've met. So it looks like it's definitely going to be an Arsenal night in Germany. Bayern Leverkusen have not been very decent in their last games with just 1 win in their last 5 games, while Arsenal have just a draw and 4 wins in their last 5 games across all competition. Of course, they're top of the Premier League. They're in the Carabao Cup final, so it's just a lot is going on for Arsenal right now. They look very, very ready for any competition. Remember, they've not lost a game in the current Champions League campaign. So definitely, it is a night where they show class again, going against the Leverkusen side that has been very inconsistent in recently. I just think that Arsenal are definitely going to get a win in that game. Now, of course, I'm going to give them a clean sheet because they have a very solid defense. Ikapi is going home to play against his former club. So I'm sure if he features in that game, he will want to show class, against his former teammates. I'll give them a clean sheet, 2-0, because I know their defense is very, very, very stable. The likes of Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba, Timber, and Calafiori. Calafiori picked an injury in their last game, but I'm sure maybe a White will come in, or yeah, definitely Hincapi will be there to take the spot. So I'm going to give 2-0 for Arsenal. Let's move on and talk about Bodø Glimt versus Sporting. Bodø Glimt have had such an incredible run in the current campaign in the Champions League. We all know the story. They won against City and Inter Milan, that they qualify into the round of 16 now. They also beat Atletico de Madrid in the Metropolitano Stadium. That's a huge, huge credit to Bodø Glimt team. But I must think that this round of 16 might just be where that their fairy tale ends. Yeah, because Sporting, on the other hand, in their last 12 games, they have 0 losses. Like, they're that good. They are that good. Currently number 3, I think, in the Portugal League. But when it comes to playing in Norway, the weather and of course the synthetic pitch where Bodø can play football might just be a sort of a key factor that will affect that game. I was giving it a Sporting win, but with that, considering that like the likes of City fell there and the other guys, so I'll just give it a 2-2 draw in that game. Now let's talk PSG versus Chelsea. The last time these two sides met, it was in the Club World Cup final, where Chelsea precisely got 3-0 against the PSG side. It looked like a time where PSG will want to give Chelsea a chase for their money, pay them back in their own coin. But PSG currently, they are not the team we witnessed last season. Their performance this season have been up and down. They have been very inconsistent this season. The last game at home, they lost 3-1 against Monaco. Chelsea, on the other hand, they are fighting so well to finish in the top 5 so they can qualify for next year Champions League. So they look like a team that will definitely be giving PSG a fight at their home ground. So I think I just think it's going to be a draw. I still don't see Chelsea getting a win, even though PSG looks very, very shaky in their last couple of games. They have been underperforming, if I should say, but I still don't think Chelsea have what it takes to go away. They can get a win at their home ground, but going away to get a win against a PSG side, I would have given PSG a win, but with their recent form, I don't think they can face the Chelsea side and get a win, even though they are playing at home with their home crowd and everything. So I'll still give Chelsea a chance to give a fight against PSG. So I'll give it a 2-2 draw in that game. Now, lastly, Real Madrid versus Manchester City. If there's any side that have known each other, it is Madrid and Manchester City. These two sides have met consistently in the last four Champions League seasons. In the last four Champions, like they've met each other every season in the last four. So this is will make it the fifth time these two sides will be meeting, more than any other side in the round of 16 right now. So they know each other very, very well. Why City is on advantage because in the last four times they've met, they have it. I think Guardiola was still in charge for the last in the last four games times they've met. Guardiola was in charge, so I think it is an advantage for them. Why and Real Madrid have changed four coaches already. It was Zidane, then Ancelotti, then what's the other guy's name? Alonso. Now it's Abeloa. So they're inconsistent in their coaching and staff is something that may just be a key factor in this game. Why the likes of they're also having injury issues. Bellingham is out injured. I'm not sure Mbappe is fit for that game. And then the guy that likes to score goals against the City side, which is Rodrigo, is also injured. So you see, it is a very tough game for Real Madrid. They have been even in La Liga, they were on top of the table at some point, and then they lost at home. So against Osasuna, yeah, they lost at home. I guess even the last game, it was a 5 minute goal. It was going to be a draw. It was a 5 minute goal from Valverde that gave them a win. So they look very inconsistent with injury issues, injury crisis. While City, on the other hand, are chasing for everything they can get this season. They're still chasing Arsenal for the Premier League. They are also in the FA Cup. They are in the Carabao Cup final against Arsenal. So they look very, very decent. They are in good shape. They're in good form going against a Madrid side that have a lot of injury issues. If you look at the City side, Mamoshi is in a very good shape right now. He got a brace against Newcastle United, while and Semeyo has been delivering game in, game out, and the likes of them. So they're a very good team and a very good form, a very good spirit, a very good shape now to go against a Madrid side that's looking very, very terrible, if I should say, with injury issues and all of that. So I'll give it a Man City win. It looked very tough because um, Bernabeu is a difficult place to go and win, especially in the Champions League. Madrid is a very tricky. I mean, it's a very tricky team when it comes to Champions League because they might be doing very, very bad in their league, but when it comes to Champions League, out of nowhere they'll drop a masterclass performance. But considering that injury crisis and all, I'll just go for a City win. Though I think it's going to be a keenly contested match, but I'll still give Pep Guardiola side to go away to Santiago Bernabeu and get a 2 goal. I know it's Madrid fans may not like this, but it's just what I think might happen. So I'll give it 2 goals to 1 against for in favor of Manchester City. There you have it. That's my prediction for the round of 16 first leg tie. I really do hope that your favorite team gets a win, home or even away, depends. I don't know, but I just hope that your favorite team does get a win. Please don't forget to subscribe, engage our content, share, like. Yes, we appreciate your engagement thus far. Please, please, please subscribe, share, and like our content across social media platforms. See you on Wednesday. Bye for today.